You already know the ending. You know every character. You know exactly what's going to happen. And yet, somehow, you watch it again. And if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing, because we talk about the feelings K-dramas leave behind. Now, here's the strange part. There are hundreds of new K-dramas you could be watching. New stories, new actors, new couples. But when you're tired, when you want something familiar, you don't choose something new. You choose that one. The one you've already watched 3, maybe 5, maybe 10 times. Why? Because you're not really rewatching the story. You're rewatching the feeling. Maybe you watched that drama during a time in your life that you'll never forget. Maybe you were happier then. Maybe you were going through something difficult. And that drama gave you somewhere to escape. Maybe you watched it with someone who isn't in your life anymore. Or maybe you simply loved the person you were when you first watched it. That's why one familiar scene can suddenly hit you differently. You know the dialogue, you know the music, you know what's coming, but your heart still reacts. Because your brain remembers the plot, but your emotions remember the experience. And there's another reason. Your favorite old K-drama doesn't make you work. You don't have to learn new characters. You don't have to wonder whether the romance will work. You don't have to figure out whether the ending will disappoint you. You already know. And sometimes, when real life feels uncertain, knowing what happens next feels comforting. That's why an old K-drama can feel like home. A new drama asks you, "Will you love me?" But your favorite already has your answer. You've already cried with these characters, laughed with them, waited for them, maybe even grew up with them, so no. You're not rewatching because you've run out of things to watch, and you're not necessarily tired of K-dramas. You're going back because something about that story still feels like you. Maybe it reminds you of who you were. Maybe it reminds you of someone you miss. Maybe it gives you a feeling that you can't find anywhere else. And that's why sometimes the K-drama you've watched 100 times can still feel better than the one that just premiered yesterday. Because you're not watching it for the first time anymore. You're watching it with everything that happened to you since the first time. And maybe that's the real reason we rewatch our favorite K-dramas. We don't always return because we miss the story. Sometimes we return because we miss ourselves.